In the quiet suburban town of Willowbrook, the McAllister family eagerly moved into their new home, a grand Victorian house that had once served as both a morgue and a funeral home in the 1960s. Unbeknownst to them, the house held a dark secret, one that would test their strength and unravel the fabric of their lives. The moment the McAllisters stepped foot inside, an eerie chill enveloped them. The air felt heavy, as if burdened by the weight of forgotten souls. The walls whispered secrets, and the creaking floors seemed to echo with the cries of the departed. Nevertheless, they brushed off the initial unease, attributing it to the age and history of the house. As days turned into weeks, the McAllisters began experiencing strange occurrences. Objects moved on their own, disembodied whispers filled the hallways, and shadows danced in the corners of their eyes. The once warm and welcoming home transformed into a place of dread and unrest. The children, Emma and James, became particularly sensitive to the house's malevolent energy. They spoke of seeing apparitions, faces in the windows, and hearing ghostly voices whispering their names in the dead of night. Their parents, John and Sarah, dismissed their claims as overactive imaginations, refusing to acknowledge the supernatural presence that surrounded them. But as the days wore on, the paranormal activity escalated. Doors slammed shut, photographs flew off the walls, and cold hands caressed the sleeping family members. The once tight-knit family began to crumble under the weight of fear and uncertainty. Sarah, unable to bear the torment any longer, delved into the house's dark history. She discovered that in the 1960s, the house had been a morgue and funeral home where unspeakable acts had taken place. Restless spirits were said to haunt the premises, seeking justice and closure. Determined to bring peace to the tormented souls, Sarah enlisted the help of a renowned paranormal investigator, Dr. Benjamin Hartley. Together, they embarked on a journey to uncover the truth and free the house from its haunted past. Night fell, and the house became a battleground between the living and the dead. Dr. Hartley performed rituals, attempting to communicate with the spirits that lingered within. The house trembled with anger and anguish, as if resisting the intrusion into its long-held secrets. Suddenly, the air grew still. A spectral figure materialized before them, the vengeful spirit of a funeral director who had committed heinous acts in the house's dark past. He lunged at the family, seeking retribution for the horrors he had perpetuated. In a heart-stopping moment, the McAllisters fought for their lives. The children, guided by their fear and love for their parents, summoned an inner strength they never knew they possessed. Sarah, with a mother's unwavering determination, confronted the malevolent entity, pleading for mercy and understanding. With a final surge of power, Sarah and Dr. Hartley performed a ritual of cleansing, forcing the spirit to confront the consequences of his actions. As the spirit dissolved into ethereal mist, the house released a collective sigh, and the torment that had plagued the McAllisters finally lifted. Exhausted but relieved, the family stood together, survivors of a battle fought not only against supernatural forces but against their own doubts and fears. Their bond had been tested and strengthened, and they emerged from the darkness with a newfound appreciation for the fragility of life and the power of love. The McAllisters left the haunted house behind, forever changed by their harrowing experience. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a reminder that some stories never truly fade away. In the quiet suburbs of Chicago during the 1970s, a malevolent presence lurked beneath the veneer of a respected member of the community. John Wayne Gacy, a charismatic and seemingly ordinary man, would go on to perpetrate one of the most horrific crime sprees in American history, leaving a trail of terror and tragedy in his wake. Gacy presented himself as a successful contractor, a charitable member of society who entertained children as a clown named Pogo. But behind his affable facade lay a sinister truth, a predator who preyed upon vulnerable young boys, luring them into his home only to subject them to unimaginable horrors. The terrifying tale of John Wayne Gacy began to unfold when the disappearance of several young men raised suspicion within the community. As the list of missing individuals grew, law enforcement launched an intensive investigation, unaware of the sheer depravity that awaited them. Inside Gacy's unassuming ranch-style house, a house of nightmares lay hidden beneath the floorboards. As the authorities unearthed the horrifying truth, the full extent of Gacy's monstrous acts became apparent. The basement, once thought of as a mere storage space, was transformed into a macabre chamber of suffering and death. The remains of 33 young men were discovered, their bodies hidden beneath the house, encased in shallow graves. Gacy's method of murder was as gruesome as it was premeditated. He lured his victims to his home, tortured them, and ultimately strangled them to death. Their final moments were engulfed in terror and desperation, their cries for mercy unanswered. As the trial unfolded, the shocking details of Gacy's sadistic rituals sent shivers through the courtroom. Witnesses testified to the horrors they endured, describing a house of horrors where the line between reality and nightmare blurred beyond recognition. The sheer number of victims and the meticulous planning behind each crime left the jury and the public stunned. John Wayne Gacy, the man who hid behind the mask of a clown, was revealed as a monster of unparalleled evil. The courtroom, once filled with whispers of disbelief, became a stage for the revelation of Gacy's true nature. The families of the victims, their lives forever shattered, confronted the embodiment of their worst nightmares, seeking justice for their lost loved ones. The dramatic climax came when Gacy was found guilty of multiple counts of murder. The judge's gavel struck the wood with finality, sentencing Gacy to death for his heinous crimes. Yet, even in his darkest hour, Gacy maintained a chilling defiance, unrepentant and unrestrained by the weight of his deeds. The legacy of John Wayne Gacy remains etched in the annals of criminal history, an embodiment of pure evil that haunts the collective psyche. His story serves as a chilling reminder that darkness can hide in plain sight, that monsters can wear the masks of normalcy, and that unspeakable horrors can unfold in the most unsuspecting places. The tale of John Wayne Gacy serves as a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected corners of society, and that beneath the surface of a seemingly ordinary person, a malevolent force may lie in wait, ready to unleash its horrors upon the world. May his story serve as a cautionary tale, a reminder to remain vigilant and aware of the darkness that can exist within the human soul. In the isolated town of Blackwood, nestled deep within the dense forest, a darkness thrived. It whispered through the trees, weaving its tendrils into the hearts and minds of the residents. At the center of this darkness lay an enigmatic cult known as the Eyes of Eternity, who worshipped a malevolent deity they believed could grant them immortality. Under the guise of a peaceful commune, the cult ensnared individuals seeking meaning and purpose. Sarah, a young woman disillusioned with the world, found herself drawn to their promises of eternal life and spiritual enlightenment. Little did she know the horrifying truth that awaited her. As Sarah delved deeper into the cult's inner circle, she witnessed rituals that defied all reason. The cult's leader, the enigmatic and charismatic Julian, held sway over his followers, manipulating their minds and preying on their vulnerabilities. He promised them salvation in exchange for their unquestioning loyalty. But as time went on, Sarah discovered the cult's true nature, a nest of darkness, fueled by sadism and depravity. The Eyes of Eternity practiced sacrificial rituals, offering the lives of the innocent to appease their deity. Sarah's disillusionment turned into terror as she realized the irreversible path she had chosen. Haunted by the knowledge of the cult's malevolence, Sarah resolved to escape. She formed an alliance with a few others who had also begun to question the cult's motives. Together, they plotted their freedom, knowing that any misstep could lead to their untimely demise. The night of their planned escape arrived. Sarah and her companions navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the cult's hideout, concealing themselves in shadows as they evaded the ever-watchful eyes of the fanatical devotees. With each step, their fear grew, and the whispers of the darkness seemed to echo louder in their ears. As they neared the exit, their freedom almost within reach, the cult's true power revealed itself. The deity the eyes of eternity worshipped emerged from the depths of their twisted beliefs, a grotesque entity, its presence suffocating and palpable. The air turned icy, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. In a frenzy of madness, the deity lashed out, enveloping the cultists in a maelstrom of chaos. Sarah and her companions witnessed in horror as the cult members, consumed by their blind devotion, succumbed to the entity's wrath. Madness and bloodshed erupted around them, painting the walls with the grotesque tableau of their demise. With their escape route blocked by the carnage, Sarah and her companions fought for their lives against both the cult and the unleashed deity. A desperate struggle ensued, each moment pushing them closer to the brink of their own destruction. But just as hope began to fade, Sarah uncovered a revelation, a long-forgotten incantation buried deep within the cult's ancient texts. With trembling hands and a heart burdened by fear, she recited the words, unleashing a surge of power that shattered the entity's grip on their reality. In a blinding flash of light, the deity's form disintegrated, its influence over the town of Blackwood dissipating into nothingness. The cult's reign of terror had come to an end, leaving only Sarah and her companions as the survivors of a nightmarish ordeal. But as they emerged from the ruins, their eyes met a devastating sight. The once thriving town of Blackwood lay in ruins, consumed by the dark forces unleashed by the cult's rituals. The price of their freedom had been the annihilation of their home, a chilling testament to the consequences of the pursuit of power. Sarah and her companions, scarred and forever changed by their experiences, left Blackwood behind, forever haunted by the horrors they had witnessed. The tale of the eyes of eternity and the town they destroyed would become a cautionary tale, a grim reminder of the depths humanity can sink to when led astray by fanatical beliefs. And as for Sarah, she carried within her the knowledge that the line between salvation and damnation was perilously thin, a reminder etched into her very soul, forever whispering the consequences of the choices she had made in the face of unspeakable evil. The TV studio buzzed with anticipation as the renowned talk show host, Emily Walker, prepared for her most anticipated episode yet. The guest? A notorious psychopath named Victor Kane, whose chilling crimes had sent shockwaves through the nation. Little did Emily know that her encounter with this malevolent presence would plunge her into a nightmare from which there would be no escape. As the interview began, Emily skillfully navigated the conversation, delving into the mind of a man driven by darkness. Victor Kane, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling intensity, regaled the audience with tales of his heinous acts, each word a twisted dance that captivated the viewers. But as the interview progressed, Emily felt an unnerving presence surrounding her, as if Victor's evil essence had seeped into her very soul. Strange occurrences plagued her, subtle at first, but growing more sinister with each passing day. Objects moved on their own, whispers echoed through the empty studio, and an icy breath tickled the back of her neck. Determined to uncover the truth behind Victor's facade, Emily dug deeper into his past. She uncovered a darkness so profound, it threatened to consume her. Victor, sensing her intrusion, began to taunt her with cryptic messages, leaving her shaken and terrified. The torment escalated as Victor's haunting became more tangible. Emily's reflection in mirrors twisted into grotesque visages, and disembodied laughter echoed through her dreams. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, leaving her in a perpetual state of fear. One fateful evening, Emily received a chilling message, instructing her to meet Victor in an abandoned theater, an eerie stage set for their final act. Driven by a mix of curiosity and an insatiable desire for answers, Emily ventured into the heart of darkness. In the decrepit theater, shadows danced like demons, whispering secrets Emily dared not comprehend. She confronted Victor, his presence suffocating the air. With each word, he unraveled her deepest fears, taunting her with the knowledge that he had become an integral part of her existence. The confrontation descended into madness. Victor's eyes glinted with sadistic delight as he revealed his true intentions: to claim Emily's soul as his own, to bind her to him for eternity. With a sinister smile, he lunged toward her, seeking to break her spirit and devour her sanity. In a moment of desperate defiance, Emily fought back, unleashing a surge of strength she didn't know she possessed. The battle between good and evil raged within the theater's dilapidated walls. The air crackled with a malevolent energy as Emily channeled her fear into a weapon of resistance. A cataclysmic force exploded around them, shattering the theater and casting them into a vortex of darkness. Emily, fueled by her determination to survive, summoned every ounce of her courage to confront Victor head-on. Their final clash was a symphony of pain and desperation, each strike a testament to the depths of their fractured souls. And then, in a blinding flash, silence enveloped the wreckage. The battle had ended, and only one figure emerged: the talk show host, Emily Walker. The malevolence that had consumed Victor had been vanquished, but the scars of their encounter remained etched upon her psyche. Emily emerged from the shadows forever changed. The haunting encounter had left its mark, a constant reminder of the evil that exists within the world and the resilience of the human spirit. The talk show host, once filled with a thirst for sensationalism, had now become a crusader against darkness, using her platform to expose the hidden terrors that lurked beneath society's facade. And so, Emily Walker's show took a new direction, one that shed light on the monsters that dwelled among us, ensuring that their stories were never forgotten. Her battle with Victor Kane became a cautionary tale, a testament to the indomitable spirit that can rise even in the face of unimaginable horror. But deep within the recesses of her mind, Emily knew that the darkness still whispered, waiting for its next opportunity to torment and consume. And she, armed with the knowledge of its existence, remained ever vigilant, knowing that the battle against evil would be a never-ending endeavor. High in the Swiss Alps, hidden among the mist-laden valleys, stood an ancient chalet, an eerie testament to a secret that the world had forgotten. The air was heavy with anticipation as the small village of Schattenberg braced itself for the arrival of an event that occurred only once every 25 years. Whispers of the event echoed through the cobblestone streets, spreading a mix of curiosity and fear among the villagers. It was said that the event was hosted by a clandestine cult known as the Keepers of Obscurity, whose rituals and ceremonies were shrouded in darkness. The cult's allure was irresistible to the adventurous and the foolhardy. Drawn by tales of unspeakable wonders and forbidden knowledge, a group of unsuspecting guests, each with their own reasons for seeking the truth, found themselves at the threshold of the chalet. Among them was Amelia, a skeptical journalist in search of a groundbreaking story. Simon, a renowned paranormal investigator, hoped to uncover the truth behind the cult's supposed supernatural abilities. Sarah, haunted by a past she couldn't escape, sought answers to the nightmares that plagued her. And then there were Thomas and Emma, a young couple lured by the promise of an unforgettable experience. As they arrived at the imposing chalet, a sense of unease settled over them. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior adorned with esoteric symbols and eerie artifacts. A hooded figure emerged from the shadows, welcoming them with a voice that sent chills down their spines. "Welcome, seekers of the forbidden," the figure intoned, its voice dripping with both menace and intrigue. "You have chosen to embark on a journey that will test your courage and unravel the mysteries that lay hidden within. But beware, for once you cross this threshold, there is no turning back." With a mixture of trepidation and fascination, the guests hesitantly stepped inside, unaware of the nightmarish ordeal that awaited them. The chalet's corridors twisted and turned like a labyrinth, each room a portal to a realm of terror and torment. The cult's members, masked and cloaked in darkness, watched their every move, their eyes burning with an unholy fervor. As the night wore on, the guests found themselves ensnared in a macabre dance of fear and desperation. Whispers of ancient chants filled the air, echoing through the halls as sinister rituals unfolded. Illusions distorted their senses, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. Amelia's skepticism crumbled as she witnessed inexplicable phenomena, her pen trembling as she tried to document the unimaginable. Simon's expertise faltered as he encountered entities from beyond the veil, testing the limits of his knowledge. Sarah's nightmares materialized before her, trapping her in a web of her own subconscious terrors. And Thomas and Emma clung to each other, their love their only solace in the face of unimaginable horror. One by one, the guests fell victim to the cult's sadistic games, disappearing into the shadows or succumbing to their own fears. Their screams reverberated through the chalet's halls, a symphony of agony that seemed to delight the cult's twisted acolytes. Amidst the chaos, Amelia found herself the sole survivor, a witness to the cult's unspeakable acts. Determined to escape and expose the truth, she raced through the labyrinthine corridors, pursued by relentless adversaries. Her breath came in ragged gasps, her heart pounding in her chest as she fought against despair. Finally, with a burst of desperate strength, Amelia burst through the chalet's heavy doors, the cold mountain air filling her lungs. She stumbled down the path, her mind reeling from the horrors she had witnessed. Behind her, the chalet loomed like a haunting specter, its dark secrets buried within its walls. As she reached the village of Schattenberg, Amelia vowed to share her harrowing experience with the world. But the scars ran deep, and the events of that night would forever haunt her, a constant reminder of the darkness that lay hidden in the depths of the Swiss Alps, waiting to ensnare those who dared to seek its secrets.
Thank you so much for joining me on this spine-chilling journey through the realm of darkness and the unknown. I hope you enjoyed these tales and found yourself on the edge of your seat, your imagination running wild. If you've been captivated by the twisted narratives and eerie encounters, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Creepy Horse channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the latest bone-chilling content and haunting stories that I'll be sharing regularly. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. I'll be delving into the depths of the supernatural, uncovering mysteries, and bringing you more hair-raising narratives that will leave you questioning reality itself. So, don't forget to turn on notifications, because you won't want to miss a single spine-tingling tale. Together, we'll explore the darkest corners of the human psyche and embrace the thrill of the unknown. Thank you again for being a part of the Creepy Horse community. Stay curious, stay brave, and keep those flashlight batteries close by. Until next time, sleep tight, because you never know what horrors await in the shadows.